shortly after handling the mummy, he catches a mysterious disease that cannot be diagnosed, cannot be treated.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the greatest tales from Egyptian mythology and scientific theories that turned out to have some basis in real-world facts.
The people here were eating extraordinarily well.
Number 10. The Power of Spit. Egypt's Book of the Dead is one of the most famous literary artifacts of all time. Combined with many texts, the document also details funeral rituals and magical spells.
The ancient Egyptians wrote that book not because they longed for death, but because they adored life and they wanted it to go on.
While actual magic is yet to be discovered, the book does mention their belief in saliva use in medicine. Ancient Egyptians believed that if a person was wounded, applying spit could help heal them. Scientific research has shown that there are antibacterial and healing components in saliva, both human and animal, which can aid in wound repair. In 2006, the chemical opioorphin was found in spit, which is said to be 6 times more potent a painkiller than morphine.
So we still have a lot of questions about what this painkiller is doing in our spit and how to turn it into medicine, but it's a pretty cool find and maybe useful someday.
However, before you start licking away, it's not completely safe, and there have been cases of infection occurring. Number 9. Ra's solar barque. Alongside being the deity of several areas, Ra is best known as the Egyptian sun god. To get around in his old age, he used his solar barques, a type of ship.
One of the most significant myths involving Ra is his daily journey across the sky.
During the day, Ra sailed aboard Manjet to give the world light, while at night he utilized Misektet. These kinds of boats also existed in real life. One of the most important pharaohs, Khufu, the second monarch in the 4th dynasty, had his tomb at the iconic Great Pyramid of Giza.
7 centimeters tall. Such is the size of the only statue of King Khufu that has survived until today.
In 1954, archaeologist Kamal El-Malak found the Khufu ship. The boat is believed to have been buried with the pharaoh so that in the afterlife he could be carried across the skies with Ra.
Crawl back to shadow, you stinking worm!
Number 8. The Griffin. With the body of a lion and the head and wings of an eagle, the griffin is one of the most famous mythological creatures, finding its way into several cultures across the world. Even Egypt has the beast, known as the Tesh-Tesh, or terror in English. As such, its image has been found in various tombs and artifacts. Folklorist Adrienne Mayer concluded in her 2000 book, The First Fossil Hunters, that the inspiration for the griffin may have developed from the discovery of dinosaur fossils. Her research found that tales of the beast originated from gold miners passing through the Gobi Desert, where Protoceratops and Psittacosaurus fossils have been found. However, some scientists have disputed Mayer's theory.
From Egyptian art to ancient nomadic warriors, Greek myths to the heraldry of kings, and pretty much everything in between, the griffin has been a part of human lore for a very, very long time.
Number 7. Medicinal use of honey. Nowadays, we use honey primarily for cooking and sweetening tea. Yet back in ancient times, it was believed to have far more useful properties than just being tasty. In several cultures, including Egypt, honey was used to treat a myriad of medical conditions, including ulcers, skin burns, and stomach issues.
It's because honey has such an osmotic potential that it sucks the fluid out of bacteria and lessens infections.
In mythology, Ra's tears turned into honeybees when the drops touched the ground. During tomb excavations, references to the insect treat have been found, as well as evidence that it was used to embalm bodies.
And in ancient Egypt, the Egyptian physicians were considered to be the best in the world. So when the Persians conquered Egypt, they wanted Egyptian physicians.
Research has shown that honey does have medicinal benefits. Some burns have been found to recover faster with the sweet syrup applied. Some varieties, such as Manuka, even have antibacterial properties.
With an ever-increasing number of strains of bacteria developing immunity, the solution may come from bees.
Number 6. The lost city of Heracleion. Mentioned by many ancient Greek historians was the Egyptian port city of Heracleion, also known as Thonis.
Heracleion was founded in the 8th century BCE at the entry of the River Nile in what is today the Bay of Abu Qir.
The settlement was known for containing a temple for Khonsu, who has been tied to Greek mythology's Hercules. However, around 101 BCE, Heracleion vanished. sparking legends about its demise for centuries.
But why and how did an entire city vanish into the sea and then just disappear from memory?
In 2000, archaeologist Frank Gaudio led a team that found Heracleion sunken within the Abu Qir Bay near Alexandria, Egypt.
Et en fait, je m'aperçois que c'est un bloc de granit rose. Et la première chose que je lis dessus, c'est « Vie éternellement ».
Many artifacts and buildings have since been found in the water's depths, giving us a view into history we once thought was a myth. Research has indicated that earthquakes, tsunamis, and rising sea levels likely caused the city to fall into the water. Number 5. Mummification chemicals. After the world was hooked on mummification in the 1800s, for decades we've been pondering what exactly the chemicals were that were used.
Both burial practice and mortuary rituals were taken incredibly seriously, since the dead were understood to be present.
Using artifacts and ancient texts, scientists could speculate but not confirm the ingredients. However, in 2016, an underground embalming workshop was found in Saqqara, Egypt.
We found the tools used by ancient Egyptians to cut the bodies to remove internal organs, as well as the canopic jars used in mummification to preserve internal organs.
In 2023, residue in 31 pots was analyzed, confirming the speculation. Some of the discovered materials used in mummification included beeswax, plant oils like juniper, and animal fats. Some of the chemicals even came from afar, such as resin from the elemi tree, which is native to the Philippines.
The elemi has all the antibacterial properties. It has the firming properties that people don't really know about.
The research also showed that certain materials were used for specific body parts, such as castor oil for the head. Number 4. Lost Army of Cambyses. According to Herodotus, Cambyses II of the Achaemenid Empire sent 50,000 soldiers to threaten an oracle in Egypt's Siwa oasis around 525 BCE. However, the army was lost to a sandstorm. Since then, people have looked for the mythical group.
No trace of the soldiers has ever been found. Until now.
In 2009, archaeologists Angelo and Alfredo Castiglione found human remains and artifacts near the oasis, leading to the belief that it was the Lost Army, which has been dismissed by some. However, in 2014, Olaf Kopper uncovered evidence in the Dakhla oasis that the army existed and it was a massive conspiracy.
The sandstorm, certainly with a large army, it's inconceivable that it would actually kill this amount of people.
He found that Egyptian ruler Petabastus III destroyed Cambyses' army as he rebelled against Persia. However, when he was defeated by Darius I, he manufactured the sandstorm tale to hide Petabastus' revolt.
So suddenly, it made a lot of sense. We should be looking for a battlefield rather than a lost army lost in a sand dune.
Number 3. The creation story. Every mythology has its own version of how the earth was created. For the ancient Egyptians, the universe consisted of a huge chaotic ocean named Nu or Nun.
Nu was the name of the dark swirling chaos before the beginning of time.
From there, the deity Mehet Weret or Metert, who's often portrayed as a cow, gave birth to the sun, leading to a pyramid mound emerging from the water and the creation of land.
As the sky, she gave birth to the sun every night before dawn, and by day it would follow its course over the earth and die at sunset.
Yet this isn't too far off from the truth of what scientists believe the creation of the planet to be. In 2020, geoscientists Benjamin Johnson and Boswell Wing detailed that their research had shown that the Earth was essentially a water world 3.2 billion years ago, with the land submerged under its depth.
Nothing's free in water world.
Number 2. The builders of the pyramids. Since the Western world discovered the Great Pyramid of Giza, the question of who built this and similar structures has plagued the discussion.
But how did they manage to maneuver 2.5-ton blocks to such an incredible height without the crane or the block and tackle?
Herodotus claimed he was told that it took 400,000 people 20 years to create the Giza Pyramid, while others believed slaves were used. However, in 1988, a team led by archaeologist Mark Lerner found a workers' village near the Giza Pyramid, known as the Hayat al-Ghurab.
So in 1988-89, we did the first excavation here in an area about 400 meters south of the Sphinx to see if, in fact, this is where the workers lived.
The settlement was essentially a well-stocked town with a cemetery. The bodies also showed signs of injuries which had been healed, indicating they were well-fed and medically looked after.
We know that these people were fed an enormous quantity of meat.
In the late 1800s, Flinders Petrie had located similar settlements, including the workmen's village near modern-day Amarna.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications.
Number 1. Tutankhamun's Curse. In various tombs, archaeologists and grave robbers throughout the centuries have found allusions to a curse that will affect those who disturb the residents.
The Egyptians said, if you bothered these mummies, you would have a problem. And people who have discovered those tombs actually ended up dying weird ways.
This led to many tales of people suffering accidents. Famously, after Tutankhamun's tomb was opened in 1922, upwards of 7 people involved in the excavation are believed to have perished from the curse.
It's easy to explain away superstitious talk of ancient curses, and it's likely that the deaths were nothing more than natural causes.
However, the reality is just as sinister, albeit less mystical. There was a belief that toxic fungus was involved, as was found after Poland's Casimir IV Jugelin's tomb was opened in 1973, leading to the demise of some involved.
When we look back at the characters such as Mace, Carnarvon, George J. Gould, who would have been in the tomb of Tutankhamun, they would have also been exposed to aspergillus. It could cause fevers, it can cause pneumonias, and can cause sepsis and death.
However, in 2024, Ross Fellows discovered evidence of Tut's tomb containing toxic levels of radiation, explaining many of the deaths, but not those from non-illness. Maybe the curse is real. What other Egyptian myths that have elements of truth did we miss on our list? Let us know below.
The artifact, which is around 3,000 years old, hadn't left Egypt for several decades.